Oh, shalom, shalom, my cats and kittens, all you crazy, cool, groovy kids out there. This is your old pal, Rabbi Sol Solomon, the founder and spiritual leader of Temple Sons of Bitches in Great Neck, New York. And I am thrilled and delighted this Saturday Shabbos morning to be talking to someone who likes the old school stuff, the classic Great American Songbook, Tin Pan Alley, or in my case, Tin Can Alley, songs that people like Tony Bennett and Sarah Vaughan and Vic Damone and Perry Como made famous, including most of all, Frank Sinatra, the chairman of the board, the old Blue Eyes himself. Well, obviously we don't have our guest either because he was here and now I don't see him. Please come back. Where the hell are you? Come back! Come back, damn it. Let's see if he's trying to log on. Hello?
Hello.
There we go.
Can you hear me?
Coming, now I hear you and now I even see you.
And now you see me. Okay, good. There we go.
So coming to the neighborhood right now is a man who isn't impersonating or channeling the great old Blue Eyes himself, Frank Sinatra, but a man who sings the songs of that era in a style that will make you think that you're sitting in the Copa or the Stork Club with your girlfriend, maybe smacking her around a little bit if she gives you some lip. Ladies and gentlemen, and between his lips would be a cigar. Won't you please welcome to the neighborhood a man who has played Tavern on the Green, the Rainbow Room, the Sands Hotel, played in hotels from Ecuador to Brazil, STEVEN MAGLIO. Shalom, Stephen. Hello.
Shalom. Thank you so much for having me today.
You're very, very welcome, and shalom to you. So I noticed you have a World War II picture that's autographed by somebody. Was that the guy who put the flag there, or what is that?
Yes, that was, I do benefits for a group called Warrior Shield. And what they do is we get a lot of guys come back from the military with PTSD, and they go to see psychiatrists, and right away the psychiatrists put them on drugs, and they wind up becoming addicted. Sorry, That's my reminder that I have to come on the video. So what this organization does is they hook these guys up with people to teach them yoga and meditation and things like that so that they can get over their problem without having to take the drugs. And now they've expanded it to include first responders. So we're getting police organizations involved, the fire departments and everything.
Rabbis, we have PTSD too. Just dealing with Hebrew school kids. It's
there you go.
Well, who signed? But that looks like it's got writing all.
Yeah, this was one of the events that we did. It's signed by a lot of the people that were involved with the organization.
That's nice. And is that a fighter behind you, or who's that on your other? Who's over on your left shoulder? Who that in the black and white photo? Lower. Yeah.
That's Gary Sparks. He's a featherweight champion in New York. He comes to see my show at the Carnegie Club all the time.
But now the Carnegie Club, I never knew, literally until this week, I had no idea this existed. I knew from Carnegie Hall, Zankel Hall, places like that. Where the hell is this Carnegie Club? And you can apparently smoke there?
Yeah, the Carnegie Club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public. It's on West 56th Street. It's across from the back wall of Carnegie Hall.
All right.
You look at the front of the Carnegie Club, you're seeing the back of Carnegie Hall, the back of the Russian tea room.
Oh, all right.
All right, and it's like I said, it's open to the public, and it's one of the few places in New York where you're still allowed to smoke cigars and cigarettes indoors legally. And every Saturday we have an 11-piece big band, and I sing all the Sinatra stuff. We've been doing it every Saturday for the past 18 years, the same songs, the same jokes, the same show every week, and we sell out virtually every week.
Now, let me ask you, as a singer, as someone who has to tell jokes and be on stage, you're in a room, there people are probably smoking not just cigars, but cigarettes, maybe the occasional pipe. How do you, doesn't it affect you?
No, I'm an ex-cigarette smoker, so I go there once a week to get my fix. I just enjoy inhaling it, I do have one tuxedo that I wear only to the Carnegie Club because it smells, and I can't put it in my closet. I have it in the bathroom hanging outside the shower stall. It never goes in the closet.
Wow, because everybody else would stink up. Well, do you ever get it cleaned? I guess you could bring it to the cleaners.
I have it cleaned, but the smell is just in there. It doesn't come out. When my wife comes with me to the show, we come home, the first thing she does is wash her hair to get the smell out. Yeah.
So why did you give up ciggies? if you liked him.
Because I couldn't smoke and sing. I tried it, and
There
it
you
just,
go.
I couldn't get the breath control. I had to. Because I loved my cigarettes. I still miss them every day. But I love singing more. And that's
Now, how come it didn't affect Frankie? Because I'm sure, he was known for, the
he
cocktail.
was known, but if you notice, see him in the movies and anything, he didn't fully inhale. He would take a drag and then he'd let half the smoke come out
It's
before
like
he
President
inhaled.
Clinton. Yeah,
Right.
right. Yeah.
And he did when he was going to do a big show, like if he was going to do Carnegie Hall, if he was going to do Radio City, or if he was going to do a recording, he would lay off the cigarettes for about 4 or 5 days before, just to loosen up.
So at what point did you realize not only that you wanted to sing, but that you specifically were going to be in the mode of Frank?
When I was 8 years old, I realized I fell in love with Frank, and I knew that's what I wanted to do, but I was microphone shy. I could get up at a party with a group of friends where everybody's singing, grab a spoon off the table and sing into the spoon, that kind of thing. I could do that. But to get up to a microphone and perform, I couldn't. And then finally, when I was 35 years old, I said, if I never start taking lessons and take a chance, I'm going to be 80 years old one day and I'm going to kick myself that I didn't at least try. So I started taking the lessons for 8 years. Didn't tell anybody.
Wow.
I had, at the time, an aluminum awning company in New Jersey. And so I would go a half-hour lesson every Saturday morning and then rehearse in my office.
Right, yeah.
And so nobody knew for 8 years. Then one night, my wife and I were in a restaurant and they had karaoke. So I said, I'm going to get up and sing a song. And she didn't think anything of it. So I got up, I sang a song, and I came off this stage literally shaking like this. I was petrified. But what I didn't know,
when you were done, you were still petrified.
I was petrified. Yeah. And I didn't realize that it was a contest. I wound up winning first prize. So that gave me confidence.
That would. And did your wife even not know that you were?
Now, at that point, now we're driving home. My wife was so excited. She told me how proud she is that I won the contest and all. So now I felt like I was making a fool out of her. So I said, no, I got to come clean. I got to tell you, I didn't do this by myself. I've been taking lessons for the past 8 years.
What song?
To which she said, what the hell else you been doing for the past 8 years? I don't know about, so I got a little bit of an argument there. But then I said, I want to start getting used to being in front of people. So we started going to different karaoke bars, and I noticed I was getting a nice reaction. And after about a year of that, I called a friend of mine who's a saxophone player, John Ruda from Howard Beach. And I said, I'm doing the karaoke thing, but I want to sing with real musicians. If you know a little trio or quartet that's looking for a singer, see if you could hook me up. He said, all right, I'll keep my ears open. He said, but in the meantime, I'm playing saxophone with a group called Joe Battaglia and the New York Big Band. And we rehearse on Wednesday nights. Sometimes Joe will let people come in and sing so that the band can rehearse the vocal charts. He said, come to the rehearsal this week. So I went to the rehearsal. I sang a couple of songs. Joe liked me, and he asked me to join the group. And I made my debut, my professional debut, with a 17-piece big band at Tavern on the Green.
Wow. Let me ask you a couple of quick questions. First of all, I want to know the song that you sang that won the award. The one you that karaoke.
My Kind of Town. My Kind of Town was the first song that I heard that turned me on to Frank when I was 8 years old. And it was the song that I sang at the karaoke night.
That was from Guys and Dolls, right? The Frank Lesser?
No, that was from Robin and the Seven Hoods. Must Be a Lady was from Guys and Dolls.
Sure. Well, I should know this. Let me ask you also then.
And while we're at it, I'm looking at the calendar here. Monday, the 19th, will make 21 years since I made that debut at Tavern on the Green.
So I'm curious about when you have a 17-piece band, how do you rehearse in the sense of, do you actually have a mic and an amp? You can hear yourself, because otherwise,
absolutely, you'll hurt yourself trying to sing over the band.
Yeah, no, you
have to know what you're going to sound like.
A monitor that you can hear, and So, and then with the Battaglia thing, you've been at where for how long? Have you been?
I was with Joe for about 2 years.
Oh, yeah.
And then the Carnegie Club thing came up because I had somebody else doing the show at the Carnegie Club, and he needed to take some time off, so they brought me in to replace him, and they kept me. But the thing is, it's different with the big band. When you're singing in big band fashion, the singer is just another instrument in the orchestra. He's not a headliner. You're sitting in a chair on the side, sitting up straight back, look at it. And when it comes time for you to sing, you get up, you go to the microphone stays on the stand, and you sing your song, and then you get back and you sit back down again. That's it. No joking around, no nothing. With Carnegie Club, this was going to be a nightclub show. So now I could have a drink in my hand, I could tell jokes, I could talk, and that's what I really wanted to do, you know. So
give me one example. What is a joke that you tell in the show that Sinatra would have possibly told?
One of my favorites is actually a Joey Lewis joke. If you remember Joey Lewis, a great nightclub comedian, was very close friends with Frank. As a matter of fact, Frank made the movie The Joker is Wild, was the life story of Joey Lewis. And that was the movie that the song All the Way was written for, won an Academy Award. But one of the jokes that Joe told, that Frank told in the movie, he said, a man never knows what true happiness is until he gets married. And then it's too late. That's one of my favorites. Yeah, I like that one. It never fails to get a laugh.
It's my sign machine for this.
Oh, there you go.
But that is pretty good. So let me ask you then, why? I mean, you're also making the choice not to change your Carnegie show in any way. I mean, literally not like take one song out, put a different song in, change it back, because you know what works. But how do you keep from getting bored after 18 years?
Well, that's it. I don't, because I just love the show and I love the people. The Carnegie Club show, we keep, because it's a smoking club, we keep a barroom atmosphere. So it never really gets completely dark like a regular nightclub. It never, if some people are talking, you know, we don't want them to get too rambunctious, but we allow a little bit of talking. You know, you have to have the barroom feel to it. So people will come up to me after the show, because when the show's over, I'm at the bar hanging out with everybody else. And they'll say, like, I wanted to hear Summer Wind. I didn't hear you do Summer Wind. And I said, well, that's in the first show. You got to come for the first show to hear Summer Wind. So now if I change it, the guy's going to come back the next week to hear for the first show to hear Summer Wind. That's not going to be there. Now it's in the second show. So it's better just to keep it the same, and everybody can tell their friends about it and they know what to expect when they come.
Now, how often do you get, as far as you can tell, I don't know how big the room is, regular, you know, people come every month or just repeat.
We have some people that come every week. We have about a half a dozen people that are there every single week.
And how many people did they, you know, bury in a thing in New Jersey with cement shoes? Can you ever tell?
That we don't know. That we don't know.
So have you ever heard from Sinatra's offspring or family, like Nancy, or, well, she's gone, I think, but
no, Nancy's not gone. Frank Jr. died.
Frank Jr.
Nancy and Tina are still alive.
Oh, yeah.
I never met them. I never met the kids. I met Nancy's daughter, AJ, a couple of times, because she used to live in New York City. So I ran into her at Patsy's restaurant a couple of times. We have the celebration for Frank's birthday every year. So I ran into her there a few years, but now she moved out to California. She got married. She moved to California, so I don't see her anymore. Dean Martin's daughter, I'm very close friends with. I don't know if you can see the
was that Deanna Martin? I used to get press.
Dina Martin. You can see the picture here? Let me see.
Yeah.
That's Dina. I'm very close friends with her. We just did Atlantic City together in December.
Oh my goodness.
We're at resorts together.
So does she tell you stories about her dad?
Well, during the show, she tells all the stories about her dad, and she wrote a book. So, you know, there's plenty out there to read about. And she, you know, she loved her father, and he was the same. She says he was the same guy you saw on TV that everybody knows and loves. That's the way he was in real life, you know.
Now, let me ask you this about the Sinatra legacy. I mean, I assume the show is just about the music and a couple of jokes. You don't go into his life and the women and you know, all of that.
No, we don't go into that.
Right.
I patterned the show after the Live at the Sands album. I wanted it to be fun, but I didn't want it to be like a classroom where you say, well, this was written by this guy and arranged by that guy. I don't want people to feel like they're getting a history lesson. I want them just to have a few laughs and some fun. And that's the way it rolls.
So how is your Carnegie show different from what you're doing or is it the same that you're doing at Pangea?
It is
Tuesday.
We're going to be at the Cutting Room.
Oh, Wednesday, June 21st at the Cutting Room.
21st at the Cutting Room.
Yeah.
And it's going to be as opposite as I can make. Aside from the fact that I'm going to have a tuxedo on, it's going to be as opposite as I can make it.
Like?
At the Carnegie, because people come up to me after the Carnegie Club show sometimes. They say, you know, I want to bring my mother, my father, my brother, my dad, and they can't be around the smoke. When are you going to be someplace where there's no smoking? And the Carnegie Club doesn't serve dinner. They serve appetizers and drinks. So they said, we're going to be a place where we could have dinner. Or they'll say, I love the way you do the Sinatra stuff, but don't you ever sing anything else?
Oh, here in cutting room, you will. You're going to add
So
yeah.
this show is going to be called Not Just Sinatra. It's going to be half Sinatra songs, and the other half of the show is going to be songs by Dean, Sammy, Tony Bennett, Nat King Cole, Bobby Darin, that kind of thing. So the people that want to hear me sing Sinatra will hear me sing Sinatra, but not just Sinatra. So
you're going to do Mac the Knife, I'll bet, or is that
that's going to be in the first show. Yep.
What else? What are some of the other non-Sinatra numbers?
Non-Sinatra songs we'll be doing.
Like what? Like what else? What?
Bad Leroy Brown. Frank recorded that song.
Not
so
expecting to.
Got a big band shot for it. King of the Road. Dean Martin used to do King of the Road. Steve Lawrence, Room Without Windows, a great song. So we're gonna be mixing it up. Billy Joel gonna do a Billy Joel song.
Oh my goodness!
So,
wow.
Yeah. So we're gonna mix it up nice. And the thing is now we're getting a good turnout for opening night on June 21st. So we're gonna start doing it once a month.
Oh, I did not know that. That was a scoop. I have a scoop.
We're going to make a second residency out of it. So it's going to be once a month, and every month this show will change. I'm sure we'll keep My Way in New York in every show, but the other songs will change them. We'll rotate them. We're going to put some new things in, take some old things out. And so you could come every month and never see the same show twice.
And does that appeal to your creativity? Now you have an outlet where you can say, I've always wanted to do this and that.
That's it. It makes everything totally different. So now Carnegie Club is the same show every week. This is going to be a different show every month. Carnegie, you could smoke. Here, you can't smoke. Carnegie, you can't have dinner. Here, you can have dinner. Carnegie Club is an 11-piece band. This is going to be a 12-piece band with a conductor.
Oh my goodness. So, yeah.
Carnegie Club is just me. Here, the cutting room, we're going to have a comedian to open the show. So it's going to be as different as we could make it so that it's a whole new experience. So it's just another one of those Sinatra shows. No, we got to change it and make it fresh.
Now, I'm curious about how this kind of thing works also in the sense of the economics of it. Because, you're talking about 12 pieces and a conductor and you sing in that. So is it like you get a big paycheck from the place and then you have to distribute it? Or do you put the whole package together and you charge a thing? Or is it, how do you make a living and how do you put on a show with 12, Broadway shows can't have 12 acts in them.
That's it. Everybody said we want to go back to the old days of the Copacabana when they had the big band and all the stuff and everything, but nobody wants to put it on because it's expensive and you got to charge an expensive ticket for it, But we're doing it.
In other words, are you paid up front and then you give money to all these people, or who produces? How does it work?
The club is working with me on that. There's nothing up front. We're just pushing as hard as we can to sell as many tickets as we can, and then we split it up.
And how I'm really, really curious. So you don't have to tell me your actual set, but like a horn player, what do they get for a gig like this?
I can't. Yeah, I can't say that. There's different things for. Yeah, it depends on the exact gig, the amount of time, the amount of the songs. I was just curious. There's a lot involved in that.
Because it's enough for one person to get up with a piano and these Don't Tell Mama, and they're paying this and this costs this, and you got to pay for that.
And every place pays differently. There's no.
The cutting room does pretty. I'm hoping the cutting room does very well by you guys. So you don't need the aluminum store anymore.
Oh no, that's gone a long time.
So this is your full-time and has been
my full-time job since 2004. When I started working at the Carnegie Club, I gave the other business up.
Now, what is your wife? How did you meet your wife, and what does your wife do?
My wife's a homemaker. We actually had a class together in high school. And then we re-met a few years later and started dating and got married. We're married 38 years now.
And when you say homemaker, do you have
4 grown children, 5 grandchildren. She just left a little while ago. There's a birthday party, a 2-year-old birthday party for one of my grandchildren. So I'm going to be going over and joining them later. So.
Are you Italian? I want to check this out.
100%.
Totally. So how is that?
Neapolitan.
Yeah, excuse me.
Yeah.
So you're chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry. But let me ask you this. How does that influence you? I guess you're a Catholic, I'm guessing. So how does the religion and the Italianness influence your thought process, your day-to-day life. And you might not know this, I'm Jewish. So that comes out in who I am, my humor, my everything. How does Italian-ness, Neapolitan-ness come out in you?
I don't think about it. It's just there. But a lot of people tell me that they think the Rat Pack swagger that you have on stage comes from being Italian. Because Frank and Dean were Italian, Bobby Darin was Italian, and they had that. And so seeing that, and I don't copy it, but I think I just kind of picked up on it the same way I picked up mannerisms from my father and my older brothers and everything. Just from watching all those years, I think I picked it up and it just became part of me. And I think that swagger has something to do with being Italian.
Even the hand
It's not
motion.
something you can teach. You have to absorb it as you're growing up. It's not something you can learn.
Now, a casting director must have picked up on this because you were almost in, apparently, the Martin Scorsese 12-hour film, The Irishman.
Yeah.
I
was in, but my scene got cut.
Yeah. It was 3.5 hours. What, did it actually cut anything? But so what was your scene? Who were you?
You'd be surprised because Martin Scorsese is known for doing everything like 25 takes. And then he'll figure out which one he wants when he gets in the editing room. So there's a lot of footage to go through when he makes a movie.
So what scene?
The scene was supposed to be in the Copacabana with Joe Gallo and what's his name? Jim Norton, the comedian, was playing Don Rickles, supposed to be in the Copacabana. He played Don Rickles. And I was supposed to be in that scene, but my part wound up, getting cut out. Do
you have the footage? Did they give you that, or
no,
you just on the time? No. So,
but I was in a couple other movies. I was in some independent stuff, and I always get hired. And when the independent movies, they have small budgets, so they usually hire me because they want me to be a singer and they want me to bring my own tuxedo, so this way they don't have to get a tuxedo.
Well, the joke's on them because you bring the smelly one. And all the records tell you.
One time I was doing a thing and I was supposed to have a hat and I was supposed to use a bathrobe. And when I went to put the bathrobe on, I noticed a tag on the cuff. And I say, I need a scissor. I got to cut this tag off. And the director said, no, don't cut the tag off. We got to bring it back to the store tomorrow. The budget was so low. They just bought it. We're going to use it. And then we're going to return it.
Wow, that is independent filmmaking.
That's a low budget picture.
So, but do you have any stories from working on, whether you did a day or two with Scorsese, any Scorsese stories, any stories about Jim Norton, any stories about De Niro?
No, I was only there for the one day, and there was so many people involved in that scene because it was supposed to be the Copacabana, which it was actually filmed in Gotham Comedy Club.
Oh yeah,
the actual room that they used. But there was so many people involved in that scene that I couldn't. One of the guys though was a friend. In the scene with me was a friend of mine, Nick Kryson. He played Crazy Joe Gallo's bodyguard.
Oh, all right.
And he got a lot of screen time. And my cousin, I have a cousin who has the same name as me, STEVEN Maglio. He was in a scene with Joe Pesci. So even though I didn't appear in the movie, my name appears in the credits twice. Once for me and once for my cousin.
And nobody knows.
People were calling me and said, "We're looking for you in the movie. Where were you?" And I got cut out, but because I was considered a principal, they kept my name in the credits in the title.
Were you in something with Danny DeVito? Do you know him, or did you write a song for him?
Danny DeVito. Years ago, I knew. I was working with a piano player, and he knew somebody that was in the liquor business. He was a liquor importer, and this guy's gimmick was that he would put celebrity names on his alcohols. He had a Johnny Bench Scotch, was a 5-year-old Scotch, so it was number 5. He had Johnny Bench today. He had a Duke Ellington Cognac. He had Wendy Williams doing a champagne for him.
So he got permission.
He got permission, and they were involved in the promotions.
Yeah.
But one day, this guy is watching The View, and Danny DeVito came on drunk. And he said that he was drunk because he was up all night drinking limoncello with George Clooney. So this importer got in touch with Danny DeVito. And he said, how about you and I get together? We'll make a brand of limoncello, Danny DeVito limoncello. He said, I'll import it from Sorrento, Italy, and we'll put it. And so they did. So we were going to go to the liquor convention to perform for them. And he said, he said to my piano player, you should come up with a jingle or something for the thing. So the piano player wrote the main jingle, and I rewrote some of it. I put a different ending on it, and then our drummer has a recording studio, so he recorded it and put some extra instrumentation into it. And when Danny heard it, he loved it. So it became the Limoncello song.
I
And if
will
you go on
have a copy.
YouTube,
Yeah.
if you go on YouTube or even on my website, the videos page is STEVENMAGLIO.com, there is a video of the first time I sang it to Danny and Rhea Perlman. Me and the piano player and the drummer were at the Dolphin Hotel in Disneyland. We were there to do something for the liquor convention. And I have my glasses on and I'm reading it off the paper because I thought once we recorded it, we were just going to use the recording. I don't have to learn the words. So I didn't even know the words. So I'm reading it off the paper because they wanted us to sing it live. So that was a cute thing.
And that video that's so cool. That is.
It was a limited edition thing. You can't get it anymore. It was just for a short period of time. But it was a lot of fun being with him. You know, he was good.
Well, we are
Rhea Perlman too.
A lot of fun talking with Steven Maglio. You're going to have even more fun if you go to any one or all three or four of these things. First of all, like tonight, you're doing the 2 shows at the Carnegie, right?
Carnegie Club tonight. Yep.
What times are those? When are those?
8 o'clock and 10:30.
You have an 8 o'clock show at 10.
They're different. The Carnegie Club, the first show and the second show are different songs. So we get a lot of people that come for the first show and then they'll stay for the second one. If you can make a reservation for 2 shows, you can stay.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah.
Or the beginning of your residency, monthly residency, on Wednesday night, you're going to be at the Cutting Room, which is over on 44 East 32nd Street.
Right.
The show is called Not Just Sinatra. You got the big band at 12 pieces.
12 pieces. With the conductor. With the conductor, yeah. They just throw the barrel at this. For more information about all of this, go to his website, STEVENMAGLIO.com. And it's Steven with a V. Steven, M-A-G-L-I-O. STEVENMAGLIO.com to get your tickets to go. So again, if you have an emphysema thing, if you don't like smoke, stay away from the Carnegie, go to the Cutting Room. If you love smoke, you want to have a sit back, have maybe a cigar, a little. Is weed okay? No, as a matter of fact, I used to joke around. People was here smoking. They say, "Oh yeah, what can I smoke there?" And I used to say you could smoke anything that's legal in the state of New York. But now I can't say that anymore. I had to change that. That's cigars and cigarettes. Yeah.
Well, how come actually?
If it's marijuana legal, so
state legal, how come they say no? Why is it not allowed then? If it's state legal.
Well, we don't want anybody smoking marijuana in a closed atmosphere because it's going to affect other people.
Oh,
yeah, you know.
Get a contact high. Does that happen?
Yeah, absolutely, sure.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, don't you walk down the streets in Manhattan? That's all you smell. It's terrible.
Well, I see those trucks.
It doesn't smell. As a kid in high school, it smelled nice. Now it smells like skunks.
It's like oregano dying on the vine.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible. It smells like garbage.
Anywho, but to happier subjects. Let me ask you a question, Steven Maglio. Do you listen to any contemporary music, or do you say? I mean, just for fun, like do you listen to pop of the 20 or other jazz or?
Yeah, I listen to that kind of stuff. I don't listen to the stuff that's out now, like the rap and the hip hop and all that kind of stuff. I can't relate.
Well, what about rock and roll from?
Absolutely, all the oldies. I love some disco. I wasn't really a disco kid. I like some of it. As a matter of fact, that we're going to be doing an Engelbert Humperdinck song in the show that's got.
It's not rock or disco.
Got a little disco feel to it, though. Yeah. So it's so yeah, I like other things. Absolutely.
Okay. Now, I get the idea that song. I forget which one it was that you won the contest with, and that you first heard when you were 8.
Chinatown. Chicago, Chinatown. Yeah.
Favorite Sinatra song of all time? Is that it?
No.
It is.
I can't really pick on one. I tell people it would be hard for me to pick the top 20 because there's so many. And it changes. I'll hear a song today and I'll say, I think that's my favorite Sinatra song. And then the next day I'll hear another one and I'll say, no, I think I like this one better. It keeps changing. So
let me ask you, do you have a favorite Sinatra era or time? Like, was it the young crooner? Was it the 1950s kind of, or the battled and bruised 1970s?
I prefer the early 60s, that Sinatra Live at the Sands, Count Basie era. Is my favorite.
The Mason. So it's post. Not Gordon Jenkins, who was his arranger.
Quincy Jones. Quincy Jones at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. During the 50s, it was Nelson Riddle and Billy May.
Nelson Riddle. That
They
was
pretty much, they stayed with him all along. And
Yeah.
then later on, late 60s, early 70s was Don Costa, did a lot. Gordon Jenkins did a lot of the big production numbers.
Hmm.
And in his early days, when he first left Tommy Dorsey, Axel Stordahl was with him a lot.
That's an ad name.
Yeah, Axel Stordahl was with him in the Columbia years, the late 40s, early 50s, you know. And then, but then when Quincy Jones, when he started working with Quincy Jones, he got that bassy sound, and that's my favorite. I like that the best.
The basis that well, it has been just delightful chatting here.
I had a fabulous time, man. Thank you.
No, you're not going anywhere. You're sticking around.
I'm here. I'm here.
Unfortunately, I have to go back to shul. My congregation has been waiting for like half an hour. They're very, very patient, these people, and desperate.
Gonna go back singing Count Basie, you know. You got a Basie on your mind, you're gonna start singing Basie.
I sing "Take the Olive Train." It's kind of
Oh.
But let me remind people one more time before I bring Dave back into the neighborhood to start the quiz and all that. But we've been talking with STEVEN MAGLIO. He is at he's at Carnegie Club tonight over on West 56th Street at 8 and 10:30 p.m. doing his Sinatra Saturdays. Or if you want to wait till Wednesday, you can see him at the Cutting Room on East 32nd Street with no smokes. The air will be clear and purified, but even more instrumentation. So much that you'll be sitting next to a trombone player, maybe.
It's gonna be fabulous. Gonna be fabulous.
I mean, you have been fabulous. Thank you, STEVEN MAGLIO. I'm going to play a little of my kind of hip cat Jewy music, which is as I make a quick transition. Don't go away. Dave will be here, and thank you again so much. It's been a delight.
Thank you. Shalom.
Shalom to you. Where the hell's my music? All right, hold on. Yeah, we're lo-fi here. Here we go.